Okay, wait, we are live on Get Set Up. I have made you the host. Can you make me co-host?
There you go.
Thank you.
Hi, Wade.
Hey, Donna. All right, let's see. We're here.
We're here. We're ready.
Yeah, I think there are 14 people signed up, so we ought to get at least.
At least 7. I always divide it. I divide it in half.
That's pretty close.
It is pretty close when you do that.
Hi, Janice.
Hi, Wade. How you doing?
Good, good. How about you?
I'm doing good.
There you are. Oh, we should have some more people joining us.
Hi, Janice.
I was on mute. How you doing?
Good, good, good.
Good.
The jury finally reached its verdict.
Hi, Josephine. Welcome.
Yeah, she's there.
Hi,
Harold, are you
Harold.
there?
Welcome. Nope. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Hi, how's everybody?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm here.
Doing
All
great.
right.
Knocked
We're all
out in
here.
the last class.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I know. You were in the last one. Did you like it?
Yes, I did. It was great. It was great.
Fun music, huh?
Yes, yes. Do it again.
Do it again. Yeah. Well, that one's gonna get that will get replayed if you want to come in. And I don't always play the same thing too.
Okay. Okay. Loved it.
Mhm. Hey, Joanne,
Hi, Wade.
welcome.
Thank you.
One, two, three, four. Missing somebody, Joanne. Oh, there it is, Helen. Helen,
Hi again.
again, yes. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Oh. We're gonna hang out another minute or so here. Should have some more people coming in. While we're waiting, I'll go ahead and start getting the technology working here. I'm gonna share my screen. And move everybody around. I'm going to leave everybody unmuted since this is a class where hopefully you'll be talking more than Don and I are talking. So, but if we're picking up background noise or whatever, we'll just mute. So do check to make sure you're unmuted before you ask your questions. And let's see, I will open the chat. And so the chat is open. So if you do have trouble with your microphones, or if you got something you want to communicate via the chat, it is now available. And Victor from our TA group is here to help out with the session and monitor the chat, help with any tech problems. Thanks for joining us, Victor. Always appreciate your help. All right, and hopefully we'll have a couple of three more people come in, but let's go ahead and get the basic introductions out of the way while they're getting in. So we got plenty of time for the meat of the matter. So this is Let's Talk Alexa, Smart Homes and TV. Thanks for coming. Appreciate you coming today. So my name is Wade Yarbrough, and I'll be one of the guides for the class today. Briefly about me, I'm from a small town called Mason, Tennessee, just outside of Memphis, a little small farming community. I got my degree in experimental psychology and have taught psychology in several different colleges and universities, but most of my career was designing, installing, and training users how to use hospital information systems, mostly doctors and nurses. So I've done a lot of adult education, but I really love teaching here since I get to teach people that are in the class because they're interested in the class.
Hi, and I'm Donna. I'm in San Francisco. I originally came from the East Coast. I was a music major and played music in my early years. I ended up in the computer world, and I was in IT for over 30 years. That's where I did the majority of my work. And I did work a lot with helping users get used to technology. So I really do enjoy that part, getting people over their fears of technology, learning new technology, that type of thing. So it's great being here at Get Set Up to be able to do that.
Great, thanks. And so what we do at Get Set Up is to create an environment where you can get together with other people, learn a topic that you don't know, or like today, we can discuss a topic that you're interested in. And we really try to make it comfortable and safe and interactive. And the session's being recorded, so any of the participants can request a copy. Just send an email to help@getsetup.io. We're also live streaming today, so anyone joining us via live stream, we want to welcome you to the class as well and hope you enjoy it. but do want to stress that the only way you can interact with the other learners and ask questions of the guide is to go to our website and register for the class. And finally, we're not paid to promote any of the products that we're going to talk about today. So in terms of agenda, there's not a lot of agenda. This is not a class in the traditional Get Set Up sense. This is a open forum, open discussion where you have an opportunity to talk to other learners about what you're doing, ask them questions about what they're doing, share your experiences, ideas. Don and I are here really to just kind of help facilitate things, but not to do a class in that sense. So we got three main topics we've sort of identified, and certainly we're not limited to those topics, but anything around or related to those are open game. Alexa and Alexa-enabled devices, home automation and all of its variations, and then smart TVs and TV streaming is the third topic. So we've got a few slides just to generate some ideas for you to get started the discussion. So you could talk about things like your favorite commands, how you're using Alexa for managing and playing music, which lots of people do, any Alexa skills that you've used and what your favorites are. We can talk about devices, the types of devices you're using. If there's some other ones you're interested in, to see if anybody else has one. So we're just going to kind of throw it open for discussion. So questions and comments. Hey, Roku, welcome.
No, I'm new to it, so all of it would be new information for me. I don't use Alexa.
Okay. Have you done any home automation either, or TV streaming?
No, not really. And I invited my husband to come up to sit with me because he needs to learn it also. We need to learn it together.
Okay.
That's good. Welcome.
See, come on.
So who has an Alexa device? Okay, Joanne, which one do you have?
I have the Echo, the tall one. It's several years old. A few.
Okay. Anybody else have an Echo device?
Joanne, do you have any favorite thing you like to do with the Alexa device? Like, what do you use it for?
I just got it working last week when I took it. It took me 2 years to figure out how to turn it on.
It's amazing how often that happens. Lots of times I hear people that their kids give it to them and it just kind of sits on the shelf and then they finally decide to dust it off and figure it out. Or
I couldn't figure it out. And then finally, you got to put it on your phone. Worked fine once I knew how to do it. So it's a couple of years old, but I just started using it about a week or two ago.
So Josephine, did you want to tell us about what you're doing? I see some other people coming in as well. Hey, Carol.
Look at Carol.
And
Look at his long hair. That looks like me when I did that thing for Todd Grove.
okay, there's Cheryl. So we're just kind of starting, but again, this is for the folks just joined. This is an open discussion. This isn't a class in the traditional sense of a class. This is where you can ask questions, hear what you're doing, find out what other people are doing, and really interact with each other instead of interacting with us. We're just sort of here to facilitate the conversations and throw out some ideas. So, Carol, do you have an Alexa device? Oh, yeah.
I'm curious to know that information, that command, when you command it to do something, it only works when it's command, or is it storing your information in casual conversation?
Well, this is the official position of, I'm assuming it's right from Amazon, but And it's only, when you use it, you have to say Alexa, and then you'll give it a command, Alexa, what's the temperature? When you say the word Alexa, that turns on the microphone and starts recording. I mean, it's listening all the time for that one word, but until it hears that one word, it's not recording what's going on. Which makes sense if you think that I think there's well over 1 million Alexa devices out there. If Amazon was recording 24/7 from 1 million devices, they better have a big data center, because that would be a lot of data.
That would be.
Okay, but it sounds like we don't have many Alexa folks in the group, so let's move on to the next topic. We can come back to Alexa as well, as that the topic can kind of ebb and flow. So Donna, you want to?
Wait a minute, before you move on, before we do that, can you just tell us some of the benefits, like a short, overview of what is the purpose of it? Alexa is, I have one, but my husband's going to look for it. So I just want to know, why should I use it?
There's lots of things you can do with, because the basic premise of a Alexa device, and the same thing goes with Siri and some of the other ones, is you can just ask it all sorts of questions. You can ask it, what's the weather? You can ask it to do data conversions. You can play music on it. So it basically is your voice assistant.
Okay.
So we do have a class on Alexa. So, for the folks that, and we're going to put all those in the email that comes out after class. So in that Alexa class, we go over all the different things you can do with it and how to set one up. And
okay, good.
It's really it's almost scary anymore. You can ask her pretty much anything that you would ask someone else in your house. If you want to know what the capital of Portugal is, you can just say, Alexa, what's the capital of Portugal? And she'll tell you. So it's almost like an encyclopedia sitting there beside you.
Yeah, my kids gave me one a couple years back, and because I didn't know how to use it, probably all I needed to do was plug it in. I put it away. Now I got to find it. So that's why I asked.
It's not much more than that. It's pretty much plugging it in. You got to know the Wi-Fi name and password, because it works via Wi-Fi. But that's pretty much it. It's meant to be very simple for people that aren't technologically savvy.
That's me. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, Josephine, do you have I noticed in chat you said you give it commands like timer and reminder. Is there any particular command that you could share with the group just to show them how you use it?
Well, I use it all through the day. Actually, I ask the time, I'll ask the weather, I'll ask for my news.
Mm-hmm.
It's really handy, and I love listening to her because she's such a smart aleck sometimes.
That's funny.
But yeah, I didn't think I would want one, but now I have it, I have 2 of them. So
it's kind of one of those things, the more you use it, the more you learn to use it.
mm-hmm.
It can come in handy for things too, like reminders. I know a lot of people use it to remind them to take their medicine or to do what things they need to do. So
yeah, I do like the reminder, except I haven't figured out how to be right there when she's doing the reminding.
My big question is, to me, I mean, I'd rather just go to my cell phone and ask Google, but when I took another class on streaming, I'm thinking it's really to, not stream, what does it do? The smart home junk. And I thought, well, okay, this asking Alexa is just like a benefit. I mean, people aren't just buying them to say, Alexa, what time is it? Are they? I thought that's, okay.
Yes, I think some people, that they can get that from there, but you're right though, you can use it to control your smart home, your light bulbs, your locks, to
Because I
do
mean, I
that type
wouldn't
of
want to
stuff.
pay $200 to ask it questions. I can ask my cell phone.
and Siri on your cell phone is really the same thing as Alexa. I mean, they're both voice assistants. So if you talk to Siri on your iPhone or talk to Google on your Android, or they're all very similar.
It's the same,
do a lot of the same things.
I think the benefit too is that people put several of these in their house. So they may not be carrying their cell phone around all the time, but whatever room they're in, they can just ask because they don't have to have a cell phone right on them because if they have the device sitting in the room.
That's what you need.
Mhm.
And then some users use it too for emergencies if they fall and they can easily call someone in the family. They have it set up so that they can do some emergency calling if something happens like that. So that comes handy for that too,
Okay.
because it's always listening for you, for someone to ask it, so you can have it
So
call someone.
can one of them have multiple voices they'll respond to?
Yep, it'll respond to any voice. You could have a stranger walk in the house and ask her what time it is, and she'd tell them.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
I mean, one of the more interesting uses, I think the last class I had on Alexa is a woman said her husband has Alzheimer's and he can't use the phone anymore, but he can talk. So he sits there beside the Alexa, and then she can actually call him from her phone to the Alexa device beside his chair and just say, "Honey, you doing okay?" And hear his voice, and he just answers. So that's another great usage.
Oh, that's nice.
That is. That's good.
I do enjoy having the show because when I'm out of state, of course, I bring my Alexa with me and I can drop in on my daughter who's a few states away and we can talk to each other and look at each other. And the same with my grandchildren when I'm away from them.
And tell them what the show is for people that don't know what that is.
I'm sorry?
Tell them what the show is for people that may not know what a show is.
Well, it's it's just like the Alexa Dot, except it has a screen on it. So you can see the people you're talking to on the phone or through whatever that is. And it also shows you the weather. It shows you recipes you can read on it.
So does the other person the other person obviously has to have a show as well, or?
In order to
or at least
see them, yes.
Or, yeah, okay.
But you can call on the telephone and talk to them.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is a show. I was looking for the big one, but so it's kind of like taking your smartphone and hooking it to a better speaker, and they get even larger ones. I was looking for the big one. Oh, here's the one I was looking for. This kind of makes it obvious what it is because this looks like a big speaker with a tablet glued onto it, which is basically what they are. But you can get them the size of a smartphone or up to as big as a tablet. But you can talk to it, so it'll talk as well as show you stuff.
Now this wouldn't impact me because I don't have a situation where I would need to see face to face somebody, or I can use FaceTime. But I have a friend whose mother is in an assisted living facility and is not good with technology. So if she were to get her a Echo Show and she were to have an Echo Show, they could do virtual chats as long as there's Wi-Fi in the facility. Is that a correct assumption?
Yes, I think that yes, it should work. And now it gets a little trickier. I have to think about it. Normally, if you're, it assumes that you're on the same Wi-Fi. You're in the same house, working on the same Wi-Fi, using the same account. But you can link accounts. So I could, some people have a child in another state, and with their own Amazon accounts and their own Echoes, and you can link 2 different Amazon accounts, and then you can get from, for instance, if I was talking to my dad in Tennessee, I could use my Alexa device and my Amazon account, link it to his account, and then talk to him through his Echo device.
Okay, because it sounds like they have tablets available to schedule FaceTime chats with the family that are not in the immediate area, and so that's what they've been doing. But sometimes the tablet's not available, and you have to make reservations. But this seems like it would be a reasonably priced alternative to always be able to connect between the 2 of them. So thank you.
Yeah, I think that should work. I haven't tried that specifically, but I can't think of anything that would inhibit that.
Really always me too. I guess I'm a person.
I got disconnected when we were talking about reminders, so I just, I had a question. Though a reminder is, it's, if you tell Alexa to remind you, like to take your medicine at 10 a.m., it's just, it's like an alarm, but it'll speak to you to say what the reminder is?
Yeah, and
Okay.
exactly.
Because I went from one Alexa to way too many now. Because, yeah, I bought two on Facebook. I was in the process of buying two on Facebook and struggling with syncing up with the seller. And then Kohl's had a price mistake on the Echoes, not the Dots, the bigger one.
Mhm.
So now I've got way too many. So I've got to either return two of the bigger ones or try to sell them.
Yeah. Well, and there's some good reasons, like I think Donna was saying, or that to have them around the house, because one of the safety features is if you fall and you don't have your phone with you, as long as you're within earshot of Alexa, you can say Alexa call, and you can tell whoever's in your contact list or any phone number and get help. So we have
there's
some people have put them all over their house just for that reason. So no matter where they are in their house, Alexa can hear them if they need her.
How does Alexa know your contact list?
You have to sync your contacts, but if you don't know if it's not in your contacts, you can say Alexa call 919-260-4514, and she'll call that number. So you can call a landline, a cell phone, your doctor, the police. So a lot of people put the police department, the sheriff's department, the ambulance service. So you could just say Alexa call the ambulance, and it would call the ambulance service. Okay. And again, we can keep bouncing back and forth. This isn't in particular order or structure. Maybe let's introduce some additional topics.
I think, Hiroko, did you have a question? She has her hand up.
I do. In case there are more than one cell phones in the household, do we need two sets of Alexas?
No, you don't even need a cell phone you need a cell phone to program Alexa, but not to use Alexa. So once you set it up and it's working, it doesn't work through the phone.
Okay. However, call so and so, then let's say if there are multiple individuals living under the same roof or so, how does Alexa, keep trafficking of those communications?
In that scenario, you're calling their cell phone or their landline.
I see.
So like if I say, Alexa, call Michelle, it will call her cell phone number.
I see. Okay.
It's not calling another Echo device.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, now you can do that. You can, now if I'm in my office and Michelle's in the kitchen, I can say, Alexa, call the kitchen, and it'll call the Echo device in the kitchen. So you can do Echo to Echo as well as Echo to phone.
What about confidentialities? For instance, you could have a grandchildren or visitors. They could abuse. They could get hold of certain confidential informations.
There's no information in the Alexa device to get a hold of, really. So I don't think there's much confidentiality concerns.
Let's say social security number or bank account number that I could say, Alexa, tell me my bank account number at TD Bank.
She wouldn't have any of that, no.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
I like Cheryl's comment about Alexa cleaning my house. That will be nice. I'm waiting for that feature.
I'll keep all the extra ones if they'll clean for me.
I'll buy one for every room if it starts cleaning them.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can't control those little iRobot vacuum cleaners with your Alexa, but it's not Alexa doing it. You got to have the actual vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. That's true though. Alexa can control those, right?
Yeah.
Those what are they?
iRobot.
iRobot.
My mom had one. And I mean, it wasn't a smart one, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, the original ones were just, weren't programmable, but you can buy them now that are Alexa enabled, or so there's a little Wi-Fi connector in there.
I hear
So
they
does
do
it-
edges better too.
Sure. It worked good. She didn't have one that was any kind of smart or Wi-Fi enabled, but it did good. It kept her from having to use the vacuum cleaner as often as she could, because she was struggling with trying to, deal with something that big and heavy. But does anybody have any opinions on between the Echo Dot and the Echo? Or are most people using the dots?
Yeah, has anybody got both that they can give some information?
Not I.
I do. I did set them up side by side, and I have the wake up word Alexa on one and Echo on the other to try and test them out. It seems like the microphone is less responsive on the Echo than the Dot, and they're side by side. And but the sound is much better on the Echo, not because it's obviously a bigger speaker. But I've also thought about connecting two together to try to get some kind of stereo sound on there too.
Yeah, from what you said is what I've heard. I've only got the Dots. I don't have any of the larger ones, but what I've heard is primarily for sound quality if you're playing music, but I don't have any direct experience to draw from. So
has anybody connected two together or run them to a Bluetooth speaker?
You can play on multiple Echo devices. It doesn't really do true stereo. You'd be playing the same thing from two devices, but yeah, you can group them, or you can just say play on all of them. If you got 5 in your house, all 5 of them will be playing the same thing at the same time.
Well, I read somewhere where people have connected them like 2 in the same room so that they have the separation of sound within a room. And I wouldn't do that throughout the whole house, but there's 2 rooms that I usually play music in. So I thought about possibly doing it in those 2 rooms. I'm definitely keeping at least one of the Echoes, or at least 2 of the Echoes for the 2 rooms I play the music in. But I never had it using the jack. I never used the jack to connect to have it through like a better Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, that works. Not much of a better speaker, but I got like a little wireless speaker. So when we're sitting out on the porch, we'll take this out there so we can hear Alexa out on the porch if we're sitting outside, just with it's Bluetooth.
Yeah.
But it connects via Bluetooth to the Alexa device.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of using that audio jack as opposed to the Bluetooth, but the Bluetooth would work good on my outside of my Florida room.
Other Alexa discussion before we move on?
Music just from Amazon, or are there other sources?
You can link to lots of different sources. I use Pandora and TuneIn Radio, and it's got SiriusXM and Apple Music. So a lot of the major new music sources will link to it. Let's move over to smart TVs and streaming, and because some of these all start to link together at some point anyway. But Donna, you want to kick us off there?
Yeah. Anyone have any if you have a favorite streaming service that you just discovered or you just signed up for and you like or hate, that always helps to know if something is not good. Or if you have a streaming device, you want to talk about a Roku or your Fire Stick. Anyone have an interesting setup in their house or question?
I just noticed I went and got the Roku after Xfinity. I just signed up with Xfinity. They give you their little box.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I didn't even need the Roku, but I didn't know what all this junk was before it gets set up. So, but what I found is that the little box that comes with your Xfinity for free, like I can go right on YouTube with it, and I don't understand why. But it seems like with the Roku, I've got to connect first. I don't know, whatever. But I don't even use them.
Is that
much.
like a cable box that you got from Xfinity?
I don't know what that means.
cable.
I don't have cable. I just got
Oh.
the $40 a month Wi-Fi, and as a
Oh.
gift, they give me this little box, which is almost, I guess, like a baby Roku.
Does it have, does it say Roku on it or anything like that?
No, it's not a
or-
Roku.
no?
It's like their special little box, and you could get much bigger things. It's just
Uh-huh.
you get like, oh God, the Peacock for free and some other junk that you can
It
get.
kind of
Hulu.
sounds like it's like a Roku or something that they
It's
give
a
you.
kind of, what do you call it, streaming thingy.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So you have their Wi-Fi, and then they give you the little box to be able to load some services on there. Oh, that's interesting. I know, because the cable bills are getting higher and higher. They get more and more expensive. Has anyone cut their cable and gone completely on Wi-Fi?
I mean, I never had it.
You never had it, yeah. How about you, Harold? I see you want to
Yeah, I
say
cut my
something?
cable completely. I work completely through the Fire Stick.
Nice.
I get my local networks and everything through there.
Can I ask, do you miss the cable, Harold?
Not at all. On my Fire Stick, I get pretty much everybody.
Are you getting local TV as well?
Yes, I am.
All right. I don't have.
That's
I've got
good.
the Roku, not the Fire Stick. So I'm.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about
Well, the Fire Stick allows you to put apps on there. It's the same as your phone.
Right.
Same premises. But what happens is there's a lot of different apps that you can go on YouTube and find them and put them on your Fire Stick.
Yeah. Any particular apps?
URL
Like what app are
numbers.
you using for your local stations? What app do you use for that?
I go through a company called Linux. It's an app called Linux, and I get pretty much all the local stations. Has local right up top and a few others.
Nice.
Yeah, so I pay basically for internet,
Right.
and that's it. I stream it. Fire Sticks in every room.
Now, do you do Netflix or Hulu or any of those?
Everything that's on Hulu is on the Fire Stick. It's just a matter of getting that app.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait,
It's true. There's a lot out there.
For the
Yes,
Hulu,
sir.
Harold, for
You can
Hulu, do you have
show you
to
how to
pay
do
for
it.
that? Do you have to pay for Hulu?
Yes.
Did you get the Hulu Live or you just got the regular Hulu?
During the Fire Stick, whatever shows that Hulu will show,
Yeah.
if I know the name of the show, I can just go in and find it through the stick.
Great. Good.
But on Linux, you will have the networks.
The network. Why do you spell that one? Is it Linux or?
Correct.
Oh, just like Linux.
Mhm. There's a lot of different little ones, but YouTubers will give you a lot of information.
Yeah, a lot of different videos on
Yes,
this.
they will.
Yeah.
And just think of your Fire Stick just like your phone. You add apps and you take apps away.
Yeah.
So how much does the whole service cost you monthly?
Monthly, I just pay for internet. I go on YouTube and find out what's the passcodes and everything to put the information on the Fire Stick. They'll talk you right through it. It's just, sometimes it can be time consuming, but the big picture is I don't pay as much.
Right.
How much do you pay for Hulu?
For Hulu, I get it on the Fire Stick for free.
That's good.
There's always a way.
So you're saving a lot of money every month. Yeah. You have to know what you're doing. See, I don't know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm doing.
you have to play around with it.
You have to play around and look at it like it's just a piece of equipment. You won't break it. You'll just have to reset it and go back and try again.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to want to fool around.
Is the Fire Stick through Amazon?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
So I'm wondering if that's free through Hulu is free through Amazon, but maybe not through other ones.
Well, Amazon has a contract, I think, with Hulu.
Oh. Yeah.
There-
That's a
there's
pretty
always
good
a way
one.
For them to get their money as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do make little partnerships with each other, and even your cable company,
Yeah.
a lot of times Peacock is free. HBO Max might be free already with your cable. It's good to check the website and see, because they're all wheeling and dealing right now and making deals with each other.
And they all want our attention.
Oh yeah. They know it's all about streaming. And the cable company, boy, you can always try calling them and seeing if you can get a better price on your cable, because they're really getting hit hard with these streaming services and everything. Yeah, it's a tough time for cable service. They have very high overhead.
Yeah, they do.
And they need to keep as many people as they can. So you can call them up and say, hey, my bill's too high. And I guarantee you, you'll come out of that phone call conversation.
That's not true. That's not true in New York. They could care less.
Oh, the New York.
Well, New York is such a competitive thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, they don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it will depend on where you are. how desperate your cable company is.
We've tried that.
You've tried it, huh?
Yep.
It's worth a shot, though. Give it a shot. You never know. That happened to me one time in Verizon. I went into my charger cable was broken for my phone, and I was in the mall, went into the shop to get the charger cable, and they came out with 50% off my Verizon bill. The lady just started talking to me, and she's like, oh, what plan are you on? And she looked it up, and she goes, oh no, there's a better plan. And then boom. It was great. I was just coming in there for a cable. Doesn't hurt to ask.
A lot of the streaming services give a free, anywhere from 1 to 2 months free trial.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can go do the free trial and then drop it.
Yep. Yeah. That's another nice thing with them. There's no contracts.
Yeah.
You're not committed to anything. You can swap around and find the one that works the best for you.
Now, I understand Netflix, I guess they are getting, you know how people were using other folks' accounts?
Mm-hmm.
One of your kids will get it and they'll put it up on the whole family. They were going to stop that, or have to be able to do that. Have they stopped it yet? Do you know?
I don't know. Does anybody know? I know they were going to clamp down on that, because that's, that's rampant. People have been doing that a lot with those accounts.
Yeah. Really big families, 100 people.
Yeah, really big families across many states.
Right.
Oh my.
That's the only one I'll do when I can get it free from them, from my kids. I done paid for them enough over the years.
Yeah, I know. It's true. Yeah, I haven't heard yet. I haven't heard if they're going to clamp down on that. I know they were talking about it.
Yeah.
Now, does anyone else have any other TV setups or things that they want to talk about with the cable, and any services you've tried? Yeah, it's kind of like the Wild West now for TV. That's for sure. Everyone's just, you can, like Harold, he's figured it out. He's got his own, you can get as involved as you want in these apps.
It could change next week.
And it could change next week. Yes, there's, everyone's merging. There's a lot of merges go on, and people buying out each other, and everything's moving around.
I have a question for the expert, Harold.
Harold, there you go. Yeah, Harold's got it.
When you download those apps, are you going to the Amazon store? Because I do have a Fire tablet, and it's kind of got its own thing. It's not Google. You got to go to the Amazon.
You can go actually to the Google Play Store.
I can.
And a lot of those apps will be in there. Go on your phone or whatever and go on YouTube and just look for streaming apps.
Yeah.
And if it becomes difficult, they'll talk you through it.
Yeah.
Trust me, I'm no rocket scientist.
Now I'm getting confused. You said there's there's streaming apps, and why the heck do I have a Roku if I can get a streaming app? I'm confused.
Because it's called getting information from one another. The less we know, the more that they can get.
So you mean I can get around? I don't need the Roku then. I can, or the Fire
If you don't have the apps right now, you do. If you don't have those apps, I would suggest to learn the format first before I would go out there and just let something go that I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
But if Roku is working for you right now, one afternoon you're playing around and let's go YouTube and see what happens. I get a lot of live concerts from YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a Roku, but I have the YouTube channel on the Roku. And we watch YouTube probably 80% of the time we're watching TV, we're watching YouTube.
Yeah.
But see,
There's a lot on YouTube.
I'm getting confused. There's the YouTube channel and there's the YouTube app. There's two different things, right?
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube channel and there's a YouTube app. The YouTube app will give you all the basic information. The YouTube channel will give you the commercial information that they have set up. Like, so whatever commercial TV shows, they'll have that on there. But the app will give you information. Well, say you want to you go on the app and you want to see the Tiny Desk concerts that are taped in New York. You go in there and they'll show Tiny Desk, and it'll come up with a list of all the concerts that are available. Some are in people's homes, some are still live. Just something else to do. We've been locked in for a minute.
I watched those Tiny Desk concerts too, Harold. They're good.
They are funny. Yeah. Anyone have anything else?
And if you want to link it all together, you can control your Roku with Alexa. I haven't done that one yet, but there is a Roku app or whatever you want to call it in the Alexa setup. It's a skill, I guess it's called. So I'm not totally sure how that works. I guess you could just tell Alexa to change the channels for you, kind of like a smart TV, I guess.
Yeah.
See, only reason I got the Roku is because I wanted to cast from my phone or my tablet to the TV. I don't have a smart TV. Is there a way around it? Could I have done the casting without getting a Roku?
I don't know. You can cast with the Roku. I don't know about.
Well, the Roku on your older, if you have a real old TV, the Roku just gives your old TV access to the internet.
Correct.
And then at that point, you could download the apps onto the Roku for different, Hulu or Netflix or whatever streaming app you find can go onto the Roku, and you'll be able to see it at that point. Because if you have an older TV that's not a smart TV, it can't really do much of anything. It's just, all it can do is your local, with an antenna and a local broadcast. But when you put your Roku on there, now it has a connection to the internet. And whatever the Roku can do will be projected onto your old TV. Your old TV is just going to play whatever it's getting fed. So that's why it kind of makes your old TV kind of smart, but doesn't physically do anything to your old TV. Your old TV is still the same. You're just adding that extra interface.
It's almost like my old TV is just a monitor, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's what it is. But when you have a smart TV, the smart TVs have already built in, just like it actually is from either Amazon or Roku. They will have a built-in special device inside the TV for doing the streaming. So like Roku licenses its technology to the smart TV people. And Amazon, I believe they do too. Like LG, I think Amazon does LG's. And I'm not too sure where Roku goes, but all of these, they have, they license out the hardware. So this TVs can be made smart. Were you going to say something, Harold?
With the streaming, if your TV isn't smart, you have to get a device that's going to turn that HDMI.
Right. Yeah.
You have to get an extra HDMI if you don't have one. And that's your
Right.
biggest connection right there. Then that other box is just for housing. So you have to have something to hold the apps.
Right. You got to have
Store that
something that's,
information.
yeah. So your old TV really is just a monitor at that point. And sometimes if you have a real old TV and you only have the RCA jacks, the red, blue, yellow connectors, you're gonna have to get some type of a converter to bring it to HDMI. They're not that expensive. You can find them on Amazon for, I don't know, $15, maybe something like that.
Didn't you have it in your class?
Yeah, we had a picture of it in the class. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I have a class on the devices, the streaming devices. And also there's another class on the services, all the different services, the big names, and then the free ones, the free TV and the live TV one. So there's quite a few categories. If you ever see that class come up, it's a good one to take to get a feel for it.
I think there's a link in the email that's coming out.
Oh, okay.
Classes. Yeah.
There's so many, and every time you turn around, there's a new one out. What was it? I just saw one. Yes, was it the other day? I can't think of it now. It's another merger happening.
Oh, I saw that. MGM and somebody, Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah, it was Amazon. Yeah. Amazon. Oh, yeah, they got to get more into this.
Yeah. They're
So,
just a small company. They're trying to grow.
Yeah. And you've got that Discovery service. Does anyone have that Discovery? Boy, Oprah just took over like all the all the cable channels.
What's this Discovery thing? But I think it's on my tablet. Is that something else?
That's a whole slew of cable channels. Like HDTV, TLC,
That's
Animal
Paramount.
Planet, Discovery, right?
It's
Yeah.
Paramount. That's the
Paramount.
name. And it's affiliated with, I think, CBS.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because there used to be a CBS Now,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then it became Paramount Plus. Yeah, it's hard to keep track with all these.
Changing fast. Yeah.
So I want to know when Harold's going to do his class.
I know, Harold. We should have you. He's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Home with Harold. I think it.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Like I said, that was that year of boredom.
He got bored and he started tinkering around.
Right.
So did you just sit there and say, okay, I'm going to try to find all these channels, all the channels that I like to watch, and find out where they are?
It has a lot to do with the grandkids and the younger people who keep you abreast of what's going on.
It's true. Yeah.
And one of the grandkids had an app on his TV watching TV.
Yeah.
On a Samsung phone.
Yeah. It's true. They know all the apps.
Show the old man how to do it.
That's great.
Well, talking about using the TV as a monitor, and I stumbled across this because I've got the Roku, and I use an app on my computer to show my phone on the computer. But I found now I can go from my phone to the Roku to the monitor, so I can actually, any website I can call up on my phone, I can display it mirror it up on my TV screen through the Roku device. So it's getting more and more complex, or more flexible, however you want to look at it. Some of both.
There's a lot of things out there.
And most of your smartphones, if you just go into your casting mode, you should be able to cast your screen right onto your smart TV.
Yeah.
Just try it next time you're in your living room. Just
Mhm.
pull something up and go into your cast mode, and then you should be able to hook up to your TV if it's got that part ready. The smart TVs, not the others.
That's what I don't understand. I go from my little phone, but I have to cast it. It's not like the smart TV pulls in, uploads my phone. I just want to cast from my phone to the smart TV.
Right, you're just casting your screen. I mean, that's what if you have a Roku or something, then you don't need to do that. That's how we used to do it. That's years ago. That's how you did it. You cast it, but that you can still do that.
See,
Like
I've
if
still
you
got
were-
a dumb TV, so I have to go through the Roku because I got a dumb TV. But if you got a smart TV, you wouldn't need the Roku.
Like if you want to show someone some pictures from your phone, you could just cast them onto your TV screen and you'd be able to show the pictures. So it is kind of useful. And if anyone ever used the Google Chromecast, you remember the Chromecast? That's how that used to work. That you would hook it up to your TV and you had to cast everything from the phone. But now they have Google. It's Chromecast with Google TV. It acts just like a Roku. It has a remote and you put apps on it. It's a whole different device now. But that's how they started out.
We're just about to run out of time. Any other questions on this topic before we wrap it up? Okay. Donna, you want to take us home?
Sure.
Let me stop. Let me see. Let me stop sharing.
All right, everyone. Thank you for coming today. Hope this was helpful for you. We learned a lot from Harold today. We have other classes, Alexa Intermediate. Of course, the beginning one too is out and about on the catalog. You can go ahead and take a look for that. Introduction to Smart Homes. Well, we didn't really talk about the smart home stuff today, but that's another category of devices that these all hook together at some point. You can all get all these to hook and talk to each other. We have the Understanding Current TV Streaming Services, that class. We talk about all the different streaming services. And then we have TV streaming devices, where we talk about the devices like Roku, Amazon, Google, and Apple TV. And we have Ring Doorbell Basics to learn about Ring doorbells, that type of technology. It can all tie together if you have the right combination of devices. You'll get class notes at the end of this class. You can go ahead and put in your feedback or if you have a suggestion for a new class, you can go ahead and put that in there also. We have the help@getsetup.io email, which is good not just for getting some support, but if you want to host an interest group, Harold, you can just go ahead and put that in under help@getsetup.io. We'll just fill it right in there. If you have any new classes that you think Harold should take, go ahead and put them in for help@getsetup.io. If you know of an organization that you like to work with, that you think we might be able to partner with, you can go ahead and let us know, and we will strike up a partnership with them. And you can always request a session recording by going to help@getsetup.io. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming today, everyone, and for sharing your thoughts about your devices and giving other people tips, because it's nice to have the community involved here. So thank you for joining in.
Everyone have a good one.
Thanks, everybody.
All right,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.